Hello everybody, PikaPlusHD here. Welcome to an episode of Pokemon Leaf Green. In the last episode, we got this far in, I think this is Route 9, but unfortunately we met Hiker Allen now, and there's a Geodude, and I don't want to kill my rodent. Magnitude 9. So, Magnitude, of course, a big thing in this game, but Karate Chop, of course, no big deal, that Geodude. Onyx, of course, keeping in Vegas for this Onyx, just because I can kill it very quickly. Haha, you beat me fair! Better have Burn Heal! I'm being loud today, I don't know why. It's just the mood I always am in when I start recording. I just get in the mood where I'm making loud noises for absolutely no reason. But I get a Beedrill every day. Beedrill. Beedrill's quite a weak Pokemon because it's... You could imagine it's a bug and it should be a really strong bug type, but it doesn't get a good move pull. And at the same time, as well as it not getting a good move pull, it kind of just lacks oomph, if you know what I mean. Like, there's a lot of different options it could have been, but it's weak to psychic types when it's meant to be a bug. So, it's meant to be a big flying bee, so that's clearly meant to be a bug type, but it's just weak to confusion. Like, if it had a better typing and a little bit of a better move pull, I'm sure people would consider actually using it. That's why I didn't choose Weedle when I had the option of perhaps filling up my team with Pokemon that were in the PC. I kind of chose Weedle as a no-go. Sandshrew, however, is going to join this current group. Sandshrew is just too good to the point where I had absolutely no clue what to call it. So I think I just called it Sammy the Sandshrew, because it was the only name with an S that came to mind. And there's an ether here. So that's a good start to the episode. We're about 2.5 minutes in. Well, yeah, and we already have one Pokemon, and you must have Surf to get to a power plant. How ironic. Just the whole fact that to get to an electric place, you need to be able to go through water. Surely that would electrocute the water, all of the energy produced. It's like, I know you're meant to be producing the energy and there's probably nothing wrong with it, but surely the water would be electrocuted from time to time, and that would cause death. And I'm sorry, we don't want to have some deaths, or do we? As we'll probably see in a few more episodes' time, there is death in Pokemon. It's a bit of a shame, because you kind of think of Pokemon as a really jumpy thing, and then it just, in the first gen and this game as well, it just slaps you in the face with, my Pokemon's died, or this thing's an orphan Pokemon, and you kind of realise that these happy things do actually have lifetimes as well as you. It's not like they're always going to be young, because in the game, like, all the Pokemon look effectively the same no matter how long they've actually been there. And looking at how many episodes the anime has, some of the Pokemon and some of the people just don't age, so you wouldn't assume that aging would be an issue, but clearly there is. And I think in this moment we used Flash just because it has Flash. That is effectively why we're going to use Flash. And of course, obvious reason as to why to use Flash if you need Flash, because we are going into the rock tunnel. Tunnel known for having some rocks in. And instead of giving it to Venus, I gave it to Flash, because Flash, I know I don't actually have a reason to use. Voltorbs, it's an okay electric type, but for me, I just don't want to choose it. I just do not want any kind of Voltorb in the team, because I'd rather have a Pokemon which I can rely on, and Voltorb has so many different things that it's flawed by. And this man is going to go, a nugget is totally useless, so I sold it for 5,000 Pokédollars. It's not useless, it's a gold generator. And this person heard that ghosts haunt Lavender Town. And I would sing a song that was in FIFA maybe 13 by the Presets, but I'm not going to be singing that song at the moment. Let's assume that it is pretty repetitive with the word ghosts in the whole of the chorus, to the point where it is rather annoying when they say that. But there's a super potion just hidden randomly in the middle of a cave there. I don't know why you'd have a super potion hidden on a mountain. Or a tunnel. It's funny, it's a tunnel, so you'd assume it'd be underground. You wouldn't assume that it would be above ground the whole way, because if it's above ground, then it's a mountain or a cave. Or it's not even a cave. Caves are normally underground, but they at least have something above ground. Not this. You wouldn't imagine that one of these would really have that kind of idea about being there. But as we will see, this trainer is a little bit of a pro. Pokemon fight, ready, go! So he's a bit of a twit. He's got a Cubone, however, and this is the saddest moment of my life. I use Magnitude. Magnitude 8. Davina fighting to the very end, and Cubone gives a focus energy. I use Fury Swipes. I don't know what I was thinking. Bone Club, one hit, critical hit, end of Davina. There we go. And the legend that has stood still for 2 whole episodes will stand dead in its tracks for many years. And I don't even think I put it in the death box in the end. I just think I carried on all the way to the end of the tunnel. Or not to the end of the tunnel this episode. I think I made it like halfway in, because as you can see, it's not likely to get to the end of a tunnel like the rock tunnel in 5 minutes. So game over. Yeah, it was game over. It was I actually do respect the end of Diglett here. Sorry. Or do I? I don't know. I probably just put it straight in the PC, not even thinking about if it was in the death box or not. Oh no, I did put it in the death box. Okay, so Davina the Diglett is the second victim of just general Pokemon abuse. And I'm sure N will have a lovely time in his black and white game, in which he can just advertise Pokemon cruelty, then fly off forever on a legendary Pokemon, which surely would be cruelty to the Pokemon if it's forever flying. But we'll ignore that story and pretend that I know the rest of the story. Although I don't, because I haven't played the most recent games, because of course I can't afford them. And I need to afford a new 3DS, and if I do that, I'll probably buy a capture card so I can actually record 3DS games. Because it would be nice to actually record 3DS games, but you need a capture card or a decent camera with a good computer, and unfortunately I have neither of the two. I think this Geodude will be our first encounter in this area, so we will definitely attempt to catch it here. As you can see, we have one Great Ball. Do we catch that thing? Yes, we do. And yet again, I see the G-E-O, and I go, let's give a fucking male name. Let's give it, and I think it's George the Geodude at the end of this long, strenuous typing battle between me and a keyboard. But Yeah, so far we've met, I think, maybe 2 Pokemon, maybe just 1, but we have actually seen the end of the biggest Pokemon you could ever have. It was Davina the Diglett, my good friends. Davina the Diglett fought for a cause. Unfortunately, in this case, it wasn't fought well enough for Davina the Diglett, and the weaknesses caused the death. But I draw illustrations of Pokemon when I'm home. That kind of sounds like me, except I can't draw properly. And I don't have a tablet, which means I can't make them digitized. Because when I draw on the computer with a mouse, it doesn't look anything like if I'd be drawing it in real life. Hyperfang, go! So Pokemaniac Winston is definitely having fun. Let's actually just have a look at Twitter for a few moments. And there's absolutely nothing. So that's a good start. Vegas is definitely paralysed at this moment, however, so sorry for not commentating about that one. But Minion is going to get hit by the... That is effectively what this sound does sound like. So here's Bulbasaur. I'm going to use Confusion because I think, well, maybe it's Poison type, so we win. But no, Eraser Leafs. And I get hit by the Vine Whip, thank you, not a Vine Weep. We're not a Vine Weeping Bell, sorry. He hits me. I think that was a very heavy set of turns there. And of course, I did take a little bit of damage. It wasn't significant. It was really insignificant. But there's a revive. They're just taking the mickey out of the fact that I've had a dead Pokemon this episode. They give us a revive. It's like, no. He only had... Davina had 1 chance. And unfortunately, I didn't have a very good brain in that battle. And Davina fought for a lost cause. The lost cause, of course, being life. But I think in a few seconds the video is going to end. So while I think it's ending, please remember to subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. Of course, the next video is likely to be live commentary instead. And at the same time, of course, remember to thumbs the video up. And maybe even comment on the video if you've enjoyed it a lot. Bye.